There's a pause. And I know other people that have used Facebook Live recently with the new thing. They're like, is it working? Is it working? Okay, it looks like I'm on. I'm jumping on here today. It's been literally months, and I have been planning on doing today's Facebook Live. I think it's been on my to-do list since April, and I don't think I've been on Facebook Live since April. And even after, COVID hit, it was March 13th, everything was canceled, kids are home, we're all home, everything shut down. School didn't have lesson plans for the first few weeks. I'm scrambling to try to get a schedule so I can still work. It was like crazy. But I'm like, things will slow down and then we'll get into a routine and we'll be okay and I'll still be able to get everything done that I want to on my blog. Well, that definitely did not happen. And Facebook Live videos were pretty much cut off as one of my priorities because I just couldn't get everything done while kids were asking me questions and interrupting. And even though I'm like, I'm working and I have separate office hours, I would still get interrupted. And then summer rolled around, and all the summer camps that they were going to attend, and VBSs that they were going to attend, and sleepovers at the grandparents' house. Yeah, none of that could happen either. So it has been 2 weeks. Wait, today's Friday. Maybe it's been 3 weeks. But really only two for me since my kids started in-person learning. And there's a story even behind that. Because the night before the first day of school, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna be able to get uninterrupted work done. My kids are desperate to go back to school. My youngest needs structure. My oldest needs socialization. And I had full confidence that the school district that we attend was doing everything under the sun to make sure teachers and students were safe as could be. And so after I heard everything that was going to be put into place, and currently, even though New York was the first one really hit, and I know that there's been some recent spikes, but in the county I am in, we have, I think it's, last I checked, it was only a 0.6 infection rate. And so we still have a really low amount of cases in my county, which I am truly thankful for, and I just want it to stay that way. I really, really do. But even the night before the first day of school, my youngest, Molly, who's a spunky little athletic one in the family, enjoys climbing things, enjoys climbing lots of things. And one of her favorite things to climb was this basketball hoop that we have in our backyard. And I think she was outside, and it may have been barely just like sprinkling out. And so she climbed it, and she's climbed it 1,000 times. And we have pictures of her like at the, she just climbs it right up and like hits the hoop, and that's just what she does. She pretty much all the summer she lived in her bathing suit and would climb on um our little, I don't know, it's like a hanging thing, like on swing sets, the bar that hangs because she's in tumbling class too. So she likes to flip around and be on her head and walk on her hands. Well, she's trying to do that right now. So anyway, she fell from the basketball hoop that night and had an injury that we weren't sure if it needed to be looked at. I'll just put it this way, it was in a very sensitive area. So we end up taking her to urgent care. Urgent care then said, you need to go to Strong and go to the pediatric ER because she probably needs stitches. Then the pediatric team came in, and then two other teams of doctors came in, and the final conclusion was, well, we can't get a great look at where it is, and we think she does need stitches, but because she's in so much pain, she's going to have to be completely knocked out for the procedure. So then we get admitted, and I will say this, if you are not from Rochester and don't know about the Golisano Children's Hospital, I'm pretty sure it's world famous, but now I know why. When I walked in to the hospital room, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like a hotel room. And this was like 2:30 in the morning. We hadn't slept yet. But when I went in there, there was like a bed for the parents, not just one of those pull-out chairs, that our husbands slept on while after we gave birth. It was like a real bed. It wasn't a patient bed. It was there specifically for the parent because it was a special children's hospital. And I was so amazed by that. So I actually did get like 3 hours of sleep that night. And then we had to wait till about 12:30 the next day for the procedure. And then after that was done, she actually didn't need stitches. She just needed the Dermabond to fix. And she was almost out of pain very quickly after that. So I was very thankful for that. But she was out of school for the first 4 days of school. So I was like, I have been waiting for time alone. And then I'm like, I have to wait 4 more days. Okay, I can do this. And so then my little Molly finally had her first day of school on a Friday. The following week, Tuesday, we get a call from the school. So of course I'm automatically thinking, great, there's a kid that's got COVID already, or it's my kid. My kid's in the nurse's office, there's something wrong with her. No, we get a phone call saying the elementary building is being sent home ASAP because of a water main break. And I'm like, are you serious? So that was last week. So the first week, she only went to school one day. The second week, they were all sent home early for a day because of a water main break. This is the first full week I have had where my kids have been at school. But we did also get a news report that a teacher tested positive. Luckily, this teacher was an assistant teacher, I believe, in a smaller classroom. I think it was a special ed classroom, and she really didn't leave her room and would just eat lunch in her classroom. And so there was only a small group of kids that were exposed and only a couple of teachers that were exposed, and so they are in quarantine. But when you get the email from the superintendent saying, we have the first COVID case in our staff, and you're like, great, kids are coming back home. And I fully understand that more than likely will happen. Then wake up this morning and you find out that President Trump has officially been tested positive. And if things in our nation weren't already crazy enough, this is like now it's just taking our government and putting them into a tailspin. And I'm sure it's bringing upon more fear, more panic, more of we could have done things differently and it didn't have to be this way. I mean, as parents, we're still concerned for our kids that are in school and not, if we are not normally homeschool parents. And, but I guess the only thing that helps me is that I'm not the only one feeling like this. I'm not the only one that still has anxiety about day-to-days and what's going to happen tomorrow and now what's going to happen with the election and because everyone is asking those same questions. Everyone is. So I know I'm not alone. So I actually um, this was back, I think in May, June. I'm like, you know what? I need to start making some printables of encouraging messages because I need them around my house. And if I need them, I'm sure the other people need them too. So I'm going to show you a couple that I've made, and I do have links right at the top. You can just go right to that blog page. There'll be a form that you can fill out. It's just signing up for my email newsletter. If you're already on my email newsletter, that's fine. You'll just get the PDF file emailed to you so that you can print this off and you can frame it for yourself. So I've got 3 so far that I'm going to show you, and this first one is, sorry, I'm getting used to this new camera. I also got a new laptop, which I'm very thankful for. But faith over fear. And I think all of us could use that message. And look how pretty it is. And I spent a lot of time on Canva making all of these. So If you would like your own copy of Faith Over Fear, you can follow the link. You can print it out today. You'll have to trim the edges just a little bit so that it fits into an 8x10 frame. This frame I got on Amazon. Um, you could seriously go to the thrift store or the Dollar Tree and get a super cheap frame. These ones I actually bought because I'm going to use them as gifts at Christmas time for some of my friends. So I paid a little extra for a nicer wooden with the gray stain frame. But even if you just wanted to hang this on your fridge, but it's super cute, right? Like it's super cute farmhouse font that you could put next to your fall decor, and and we need good messages constantly being put in our minds right now. Here's another one we can all relate to. Sorry. Life is tough, but so are you. I I'm having anxiety just about day to day, but I am not a black person in this nation um protesting about evil that's been going on. I am not anyone who's lost a family member to COVID. And so for me, I feel like, oh, my days are tough. But they're really not in comparison. Even when I was in the emergency room with my daughter and I'm looking around, I'm like, yep, she's got a boo-boo that needs some Dermabond. But you know what? I saw a suicidal teen come in with a cop that needed to be talked down. I saw another girl come in on a stretcher. She must have been only 9 years old, and you could just tell she had this horrible fever because she was just sweaty and barely like conscious. And then there's like little ones, babies, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds just crying because who wants to be in an emergency room? I mean, my kids screamed enough for the whole ER to hear. But we all have our own difficulties, and I know that sometimes we want to measure them and think like, well, they have it tougher than me, and maybe they do. But anxiety is anxiety, you know? Like, we all have fears, we all have anxieties, we're all nervous about what is to come. But I guess my point is that I don't want to minimize that what I have personally experienced is minor in comparison to the family members that have lost 209,000 people since March. And I'm not a person of color that has ever grown up experiencing discrimination. And those are two main things going on in our nation that I'm personally not hit personally by. Um, and I hope to God I'm not hit personally by COVID. I'm very concerned about my parents and my in-laws because they're in high risk categories. Um, I'm concerned just over the lack of unity when it comes to coming together to just take care of this and wipe it out. But anyway, so I made that printable that life is tough, but so are you, because 2020 has been the most challenging year that most of us have probably experienced. Um, and at this point, I just like, if anything else weird happens, I'm like, it's 2020. It's 2020. What else weird is gonna happen? I know I could list off other weird things that have happened, but I think I'll just stay with the list I've given so far. But I do want to leave on a happy note because you know what? You want to know what's going to help us through all of this? Laughter. And I like to be funny. And I like to put funny memes on my Facebook pages. And I like to put jokes up. And I wish I could joke more about what's going on in our nation just to be a little lighthearted, but I don't want to be insensitive. There's a fine line between being funny and then just sounding like a jerk that you're just insensitive. So I have this one hanging up in my bathroom next to my toilet. Why? I don't know. It's an ironic, funny place to put it, right? So why not have it in your bathroom? And just as a good reminder. So, whether you are needing a reminder to keep your sense of humor during the season, or you need a reminder that you will get through this season, or you need a reminder that we need to squash the fear and build up our own personal faith, whatever that looks like, and take deep breaths and be thankful. Like I just keep hearing over and over from so many people just on social media and friends and at church, people who don't even go to church, they don't even aren't affiliated with any religion, but just across the entire humanity, the best thing we can do for our own mental health, self-care, is to make a list of things that we're thankful for. And even at night, just come up with 5 things. And I'm kind of telling this to myself. I think at night I need to start writing down 5 things I'm thankful for. And I know at the dinner table when we're eating together, we will go around and say things we're thankful for. But and serving other people during the season. If you are able to be one that can help someone else out that's in a tougher spot than you, then go for it. And you know it would be a great gift? Is if you printed off one of these free things, free signs, put it in a frame, and gave it to someone who might need a reminder that laughter is good medicine, or might need a reminder that life is tough, but so are you, or might need a reminder that you need to have faith over fear. So if any of these help you today, I hope you take advantage of them, print them off, stick them in a frame, hang them up in your house, give them to friends, use them as Christmas gifts. If you have friends that are in the hospital, bring them up, stick them, especially someone who's recovering from something. But I hope each of these messages will fit the bill for someone who needs to hear them today. And I hope you take advantage of it and I hope you like them. And if you like these, let me know because I've made some. I'm probably going to be releasing more. I have plans on making more, definitely around Christmas time with like Christmas carol lyrics, just because they're festive and Christmassy. But if you like this, I would love a comment saying, thanks for the free printable. I have this hung up in my bedroom. Or thank you. I just gave this to my neighbor who just got home from knee replacement surgery and who needed this reminder and a smile today. So I'd love to hear back from you on that. And with that being said, I believe I'm all done for the day. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay cheerful, try, write down things that you're grateful for, and put up happy reminders around your house to help build up your own mental health throughout the season. Everyone have a great day and have a fantastic weekend. Thanks. Bye.